Ladies and gentlemen, the Toronto Raptors and the NBA will be back in action in just a few weeks. We're going to be heading into training camp and then getting the exhibitions going and all that kind of stuff. And you know what? I wasn't really going to do a podcast tonight, but I did want to talk a little bit of, Toronto Raptor basketball here because I didn't write anything down. Don't really have a script for tonight. Just want to let you know where my brain is at when it comes to the Toronto Raptors and what I think the season could be like if things go right. So, first of all, I do want to say that I'm optimistic about the season this year. And I am really hopeful that a lot of these guys are going to be healthy, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to be the main thing. If these guys are healthy, I think they can probably do some damage this year in the NBA. You have a guy like Brandon Ingram who's going to be in your lineup, which we discussed pretty much at nauseum at this point over the summer, obviously, because we never got to see him last summer. But when you add him into the mix, as you guys can see here with a Barnes and a Quickly and a Barrett and a Pirtle, this team looks pretty good on paper. They have some size, they're athletic, they're pretty young, and I think they're gonna come out pretty aggressive early on in the season. So I do have hopes for the Toronto Raptors. Now, a lot of it to me is still going to be on how good Scottie Barnes can become, right? Like we all know that the guy can play clearly. He's a very interesting player because the NBA is aware of what Scottie Barnes can do. When you look at him being able to put the ball on the floor, look what he's doing right here. What is going to happen? I can't remember, but okay, ball on the floor. Yeah, that looks like Scottie Barnes. Putting the ball on the floor, being able to rebound, block shots, he can defend. Not a great three-point shooter, but he's not afraid to take it. He's improving. Can you go back to the basket? Can pass the ball. I mean, Scotty can do it for you. He can do a lot of different things, and that's the great thing about a guy like Scotty Barnes. He's a guy who can give you a bit of everything, and you're going to need that from him. He's going to be your leader this season. Okay, so keep your eye on a guy like Scotty Barnes because we want to see what he's going to do from the get go. As soon as the season gets into gear, our eyes are going to be on Scotty Barnes. It's just the way it is. Okay. We got a whole bunch of other guys here, folks, in regards to Emmanuel Quickly. He's a guy who we have talked about a lot. And that seems to be the name that everybody wants to trade for some reason. I understand that his contract is expensive. I really like Emmanuel Quickly. I like this roster. And Emmanuel Quickly, damn it, he can play. He's quick, shifty, can shoot the ball. I thought he was okay defensively. Want to see him probably take some better shots. But he can create for his teammates as well. I like Emmanuel Quickly. I really do. And at it's at that point right now where I'm actually going to break down every player and speak about him. So I'm not going to harp on him too much just on this episode. I'm just giving you some thoughts here. A guy like RJ Barrett, another name that's been out there that people just seem like they want to trade. It's like, trade for who? I get it. He's expensive. Damn it. This is the NBA that we live in today. A lot of contracts are expensive. I get it. They're right there. Okay. And they got a lot of money on the books. It is what it is. But I want to see what these guys are going to be able to do together. Barrett to me is still a player who is improving. He can give you pretty much 26 and 6 a game. Not really. I could pull up his stats if let me see. But anyway, he can give you around 26 and 6 a game. You want to see him once again, just like I mentioned around Emmanuel Quickly, work on that shot selection. You want to make sure that you're taking good shots. Okay. But Barrett, big body. He averaged 21.6 rebounds, 5 assists, 46.8% field goal percentage last year. But overall, these are just guys who I think are unselfish. That's going to be the key. Remember when Masai Ujiri came on the mic and he was talking about guys being selfish? We need guys to play unselfishly. And that to me is going to be the key. You don't have a necessary, quote unquote superstar. But honestly, at this point, from what we're seeing in the NBA, you don't necessarily need one either. We look at teams like the Indiana Pacers, who just made it to an NBA Finals. Halliburton is a very damn good player, but he's not a quote unquote superstar. They just have a lot of guys who can play. Depth is going to be key. They need guys who they can bring in off the bench and be able to do damage. They do. They need guys that can come off the bench and do some damage. Agbaji, Jamison Battle, Chomchi. I don't know how much he's going to be able to do, but we'll see. Grady Dick is a very nice player that we have seen. Hepburn, Lawson, Sandro, Elijah Martin, Mobile, Murray Boyles. The Raptors have guys, Jamal Shed, Jacoby Walter. They have a lot of guys. And you know what? These are not the quote unquote sexy names around the league as a bench crew, but that's a very good thing because I want these guys to be able to catch teams off guard. I don't necessarily want these guys to be big, loud, known before they get into the season. I just want them to get into the season, get these young cats into the game, show them how they grind and can play 94-foot defense and how they can get up all in your grill in the half court. That's what I want teams to be surprised with. That's what I want them to be surprised with. And I think the Raptors will surprise them there. Okay, but overall, depth is key. They got to be unselfish. They got to come out like gangbusters. You cannot have a slow start to the season here, folks. You cannot have a slow start to the season. The Raptors have to get every W that they need to get. If you know you're going up against a weaker team, you can't be taking L's. It will happen every now and then because this is professional sports, obviously. We get it. But the Raptors, the games that they're supposed to win, they have to go out and get. And when you look at the Eastern Conference this season, okay, Celtics banged up. You still look better than Brooklyn. New York is going to be good. Right now, we don't know what the hell is going on with Philadelphia. They're probably not going to be healthy. You should probably be better than them. You should be better than Chicago. Cleveland is going to be good. Detroit's a team that's going to get better. No Halliburton for the Indiana Pacers. Milwaukee, they'll be decent. Atlanta is getting better, but you should be better than Charlotte, Miami, Washington. Orlando's probably going to be good this season, but we'll see. The point of what I'm trying to make is the Raptors should be somewhere in that top 8, if not 6 when healthy. To me, you have to be. You have to be. I think the Raptors are that damn good this season. And I talked to you a bit about the bench, but listen, the same names I want to mention quickly: Barrett, Barnes, Pirtle, Ingram. That's the guy that we're going to be watching for because he's the plug and play guy, right? That we haven't gotten to see yet. 22 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 46% field goal percentage. But he's long, he's athletic, can shoot the ball, can hit the mid range. This is going to be interesting to me. And to me, there's a bunch of different guys who can be your leading scorer on any given night. Seriously, like you don't know who it's going to be. Could be Barnes one night, Ingram, Barrett, quickly. We don't know who it's going to be. And I think that is a very, very good problem to have here, folks. I'm telling you. It's time to, get behind this Raptors squad this year. It's time. And I'm hoping they do not, and I mean do not disappoint. And so in a few weeks, folks, the content is going to be wrapping up. I'm talking about everything now, but when it comes to Raptors basketball, That's what I love to do. I'm always there, and I'm really excited for this team. Now, that's on the court. We're also at some point going to have discussions about what's going to be going on off the court for the Toronto Raptors. Obviously, there was change in management. No more Masai Ujiri, and Bobby Webster is here as head of basketball operations. We don't know exactly what changes he's going to make as of yet, if any. I'm sure there probably will be some change, which we'll see. But we're going to find out, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to find out. It is exciting times. Toronto Raptors basketball almost back. It's your boy Mike Roach. We'll be talking about it. We'll be talking about it. It's almost that time. Peace. I'm out.